This is a drawing of a bookshelf I designed for our living room. It is made of metal frame and wooden insert. I only have a tiny little problem. I don't know how to weld. I know what you're thinking. Why did I design a bookshelf that requires welding if I don't know how to do it? Well, because I wanted to learn how to do it for the longest time, but I've always been too intimidated by it. So with this project, I'm forcing myself to learn this skill. But first, I need to sort out this mess. I wasn't joking when I said learning this skill has been on my to-do list for the longest time. I even made a dedicated space for it, but then it just became a dumping place for all the extra material I didn't have a space for in my workshop. This is my first ever 3D printer. Well, the place is far from clean, but I got an access to the chop saw, which is what I was looking for, so that we can prepare the parts for the frame. Before we can cut anything though, I need to clean it because at the moment it all looks not so great. One of the things I bought when setting up the space was a abrasive brush that has been collecting dust for the longest time. Let's see if we can finally use it. That worked like a charm, and I could move on to cutting actual parts in no time. Even though I had quite a few pieces I needed to cut, chop saw made a quick process out of it, and I was ready to start welding. No, I wasn't. I did mention I've never done it before, right? You don't just expect me to start welding the actual piece. I need to do some practice first. Before I do that though, let me walk you through my setup. So I got this cute little small welding machine called Gismi 200p, which I believe is a French brand and apparently is great for beginners. I got some scrap wood from when I cut all the pieces, and the rod is E7018, which apparently is also very good for beginners, so me. Now let's go through the safety. This not so clean jumper is actually fire rated, so that's great. That funny thing on my hair is there to protect it from burning, which would be ideal. I have gloves and obviously the helmet. Yeah, I think that's about all. Let the practice montage begin. I'm not gonna lie, this is not easy. One mistake I've made is that I chose the wrong rod. I mean, the rod is right, but just the thickness is wrong. I used 3.2 millimeters, which is for basically anything above 3 millimeter of thickness. And my tubes are 1 millimeter or maybe 2 with the old batch. So it really got better as soon as I changed it for a thinner rod. But yeah, that's gonna require a bit more practice for sure. After hours and hours of practice, I felt confident enough to start welding the actual piece. I started with front and the back frame that I later connected with each other. If I had to do it again, I would probably weld all the parts in the frame as well, before connecting the pieces together. It would definitely make the whole thing easier to handle. After many cold welds, hours of grinding and rewelding, and a bit of my sanity later, I finally reached the moment where the frame was strong enough and looked decent enough for me to move on to work on the wooden part of this project. My go-to material with this kind of projects is the waterproof MDF, in this case 12mm thick. I needed to cut quite few pieces for all the shelves and boxes, so the process took me a while. If this project wasn't complicated enough already, I also decided it was good time to use veneer for the first time ever. You know, normal people when they learn new skill, they tend to start with small, low-stakes projects, just to get feel of what they're dealing with. Me, on the other hand, well, I had 5 shelves and 5 boxes to veneer inside and out, and edge bend for my first veneering project ever. To be fair, once I worked out the system of applying the contact cement, the process was rather straightforward, but I definitely underestimated the time I was going to need to finish all the pieces. I think in total it took around 20 hours spread across few days, including sanding and applying the protective coat to finish the whole process. With all the boxes and shelves ready, it was time to take care of the drawer box. The reason I didn't build it with the other boxes was that I ran out of veneer and I had to wait for more to arrive. But as I was waiting, I realized it would actually look pretty cool if I just painted black. With that final piece done, it was finally time to move everything inside. I secured shelf into place with 3D printed brackets while the boxes were held in place just with the frame. With the exception of the black box, since it had drawer inside that was going to be pulled and pushed a lot, I added the screws to prevent it from moving.